also saves you time, so you can enjoy the things that matter most even more. Contact me, Tammy Haynes, your local agent, for a free personalized insurance quote. Allstate, are you in good hands?
There's a shot.
Shot
To
that
right.
might
It
be.
could
It
go.
could be.
Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
Oh, we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
The Cuvée Group is a Florida-based marketing and training consulting firm. We help businesses communicate to their target audience and engage them in conversation. We also help to expand their audiences, which will ultimately result in growth for those organizations. In addition to being a certified constant contact specialist, my colleagues and I are also certified in John Maxwell Leadership Principles. We use these proven principles to conduct workshops, training, and private coaching sessions for individuals and companies looking to take things to the next level. Contact us to schedule a free consultation. Issues today, don't delay, call Cuvée.
I love Atlanta, a city in the forest. Hi, I'm Jeff Cleveland, seasoned loan officer in the Atlanta market. And whether you're buying a new home, refinancing to do debt consolidation, home improvements, or just to lower your payment, give me a call. I'll ensure that you're treated with dignity and respect, that you're informed throughout the process, and that there are no surprises at closing. Give me a call and let's get started.
What's up? It is the 7th of May, 2025. Y'all know what it is. It's Random Thoughts with DVP, and I'm your host, DVP. I got Mo sitting in the waiting room. He been playing hooky, so he gonna have to explain him and his FBI run, because y'all know he a fugitive. I ain't supposed to say nothing, but what the fuck, might as well get it all out there. Birds of a feather. Because he ain't upholding his end as peaceful mediator. He been bringing heat, and so yeah, we dry snitching today, cause we dry snitching today. So anyway, I'm gonna go on and bring more on, because I got some things that I want to talk about. And since I done broke my headset, that's how excited I am, as my grandmama would say. I'm gonna need more opinion on some things. So I'm gonna bring him on, let him introduce himself while I fix these headsets that I just broke. I fixed them back, but I'm still bringing more on since let me do this here. What's up, brother? What's up?
What up, man? What up? Hey, listen, that wasn't dry snitching. That was wet as hell. I just want to let you know you ain't dry snitch, brother. That shit was wet as hell.
Where you been, man? Where you been? I looked on the news. I seen a brother like you in the background running. So I was like, that looked like Mo.
No, I can't even run, man. I'm slow as hell.
Yeah, and see, he was slow too. But
Okay.
what I saw him doing was dropping donuts as he was running to slow the popo down. So I was like, Mo sneaky brother like that. That might have been him.
No sir, brother. No sir. No donuts, my man.
So everything good in your world, man?
I can't complain. How about yourself?
Hey man, I'm here to start some shit.
What else? I mean, that's why we had this show.
Since you ain't being no help at all in trying to calm a brother down. So I'm just
man. I let you go. You know, I know when to get involved, man. I know when to jump in.
All right, so and my show title didn't show up. This is my What the Hell is Going On show. What the hell is going on?
It's here. Your show title's here.
Okay. Man. So this is my first thing. Y'all know I like to talk to just random people, especially people who don't know me, because I like to hear their purest, untainted thoughts, because they're not trying to impress me because they think I'm just a nobody like them, which I am. So I'm cool with that. But it always amazes me when people who are seemingly sane get upset with the president. Like he did some shit he ain't done before. And it confuses me because I'm like, well, when did you expect for him to be a good dude? Because I'm like, he ain't never showed you this, so why y'all, I can't believe he doing this. Well, to me, it means you're kind of stupid. What I can't believe when he do something good, that's when you should say, damn, I can't believe he did that. But when he do his normal, when he tell a lie, what are you surprised about? I ain't never seen, and I'm gonna be 60 next month. In my 60 years, I ain't never seen a man that could say something and the very next sentence he could contradict himself. And the third sentence, he'll contradict both of his two prior contradictions. So I don't even listen to him no more because I know all he's gonna do is confuse me. But it amazes me in pieces, man. I can't believe he did this. I can't believe he don't care about these people. Well, when did he show y'all he cared about somebody who wasn't named Donald J. Trump? I mean, it's kind of like, okay, I ain't gonna go there because I'm trying to. We just in the first 5 minutes of the show, so I'm gonna hold that. I'm gonna hold that correlation. I'm gonna hold Mo.
Yes, sir.
When you run across a chronic liar or somebody who don't know reality from anything else, when do you ever? Why do you waste time hoping they're gonna be somebody different when, as they say, they've shown you who they are over and over again?
Man, listen. What
up, Trav?
That's a life lesson that I guess people need to go through that process a few times before it really clicks, because that's a life lesson that you'll only learn if you accept it and you allow it to actually and you allow it to be what it is, you know, and stop making excuses, stop saying, oh, this is why, you know, because I seen people make excuses for other people who doing stuff. And I'm like, hold on, why are you making excuses for them? Let's just ask them and see why they're doing it. You know, no need to make your own story up. But that's what they call insanity, man. That's really technically what they call insanity.
But is it insanity or is it just ignorance? Because you're expecting something that nobody else expects.
Yeah. That's
nobody else expects for him to be sane. Even his people who are delusional don't expect that.
Right.
So
right.
When I'm listening, and you know, I'm gonna give this 20 minutes. I saw a post, and it's asked, you know, where's Kamala? Where's this person? Where's this person? Why y'all keep looking for somebody to save y'all? Now, if I'm not mistaken, she spoke out. Obama spoke out. Y'all don't like these people. But enough people came out and told y'all not to do this, what was coming. Y'all ignored them. So tell me in real world terms, when you tell somebody, hey, don't cross that street and go into their house because they over there burning shit up. When you go in there and catch a fire, don't come back and ask me why I ain't saying nothing now. I told you before you went into the house that they was burning shit up. So why is it we have a tendency to want saviors to save us from our bad decisions? Because in looking at the numbers, looking at the raw data, pretty much the same people that voted for Trump the last time voted for him again. The drop-off was in the people that voted for Biden a lot of them didn't come out and vote. So either they voted third party or they didn't vote. That was what the election was lost. All the people who chose to stay home, all the people who chose to vote for somebody else who didn't stand a chance. So
well, hold on. I gotta correct you, man. I gotta correct you, brother, because I don't know if we align politically, but let me just see if you align with this. But when you say we lost, my stance on that is no matter who won that race, they were both losers. So I don't know. I don't know what your opinion is on that, but they're both losers. So there's no we lost as far as I'm concerned. But
I mean, I mean in the context of what was going to come next.
Right.
Because when me and Roy got into it, when he was saying Trump has fulfilled some of his campaign promises, almost 90%. I was like, Roy, he ain't never fulfilled 90. He said a lot of things that he can't do, won't do, ain't gonna do. The war's still going on. Gas prices are still high. Egg prices are still high. Rent is still high. Only thing he did was he did start deporting people. That's it. I'm sure he said a couple other dumb things, but he's never come close to fulfilling any of his rhetoric. But why is it that we saw this before? And this has nothing to do with political party, but we knew, factually speaking, once COVID hit and all the facts started coming out, Obama left him with a surplus of things in case a pandemic hit. He left him with a surplus of man. He just got rid of all that stuff because he likes to rid the White House of anything that's Obama related. Remember, this is the only president who takes down pictures of past presidents based on his like for them.
Yeah.
So why are we surprised at anything that he does? And why are we looking for somebody to come tell us what they've been telling us and we chose not to listen? Whether it was because, as Mo said, both were losers, whether it's because subliminally, a lot of us are misogynistic and we didn't want a woman president, but the numbers say that a lot of people didn't vote this election. And as my mama told me, if you don't vote, you don't get to complain. Because when you had a chance to cast your voice, you said, mute me. I don't want to be heard. Which is why I tell everybody, vote. It don't matter who you vote for, but go on out there and vote so that you can bitch and whine like the rest of us. Because if you don't, have two frosted mugs of STFU.
And let me clarify something too, just for the people who are listening. I'll put it this way: Kamala lost my vote. She lost my vote. I was hoping for change. I was hoping for something new. We had Donald Trump. We had four years of him, but she actually lost my vote because, my vote matters. And if I'm going to cast it for a candidate, I want to know what I'm getting back in return. And I could tell you, man, the agenda, I'm listening. I'm trying to figure out what the agenda is. I'm listening. Right. I'm listening to the agenda, right? Okay, what's going to change? What are you going to do? And all I heard was gobbledygook and ducking and shucking and jiving. And, with that, I was like, okay, so we're not going to be any better off than with Trump. And so that kind of helped me figure out it don't really matter in this case, as far as I'm concerned.
And the thing is in hindsight, where she couldn't do a lot of things, like I said, and this is all 2020 now. She was stuck with 90 days. She was stuck in a market that was already against her because Biden had his approval rating sucked. Yep. And unfortunately, she played the political game. She wouldn't talk bad about it. So, like I said, there's a lot of things going to it. But for those 20, 30, Trump didn't win by a lot of votes. But the point is, why are we wanting people to come talk to us about what could happen? Because nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows. But more deals in stocks. The stocks have been doing some crazy shit.
Crazy, nutty.
They've been doing some, people who had 401ks, they realize they're going to have to work 10 more years now. Nobody could have understood all these things, but we can't keep waiting. And most say this all the time. We can't keep waiting for people to come tell us stuff. At some point, we have to start educating ourselves and being accountable for our own decisions. That's part of being grown. You know, if you don't know something, ask somebody, read something, join a group and learn about it. You don't have to quit joining groups to be entertained. Join some groups to be educated. Like I say, Mo got a stock group. I ain't in there as much as I should be, but me and Mo had a couple of conversations. I invested in some stocks. So I'm still watching my stuff. And luckily, most of the stocks that I invested in had to do with artificial intelligence or drone technology. So I didn't really lose a whole lot. But there's some people who did.
Well, again, hold on, let me clarify. You haven't lost nothing yet. You don't lose till you sell it, brother. You good.
If I were to sell everything now, I'm gonna still get some money.
No, if you sell it right now, you lose. But
I'm saying right now, mine is up. So if I sell it, I will make some money. Okay, I've been watching it.
Good.
So you know, but at some point, you got to start educating yourself. We can't keep talking about how we grown and we do this, but we keep waiting on everybody to tell us the answer to something. Like I say, Mo gave me some advice and some stuff to look for. Then I went and did on my own. I even asked him for some tips. And it's like I told somebody else, you can tell me a lot of things, but at the end of the day, the final decision is mine. So either I make good decisions or I don't. But I can't blame Mo if I had bought some stuff. Oh man, Mo gave me he gave me a bad suggestion. Because of Mo, I lost his money. Well, Mo didn't make me invest my money. Mo just said this is what he's looking at. He said, look at this. I don't ever recall him saying buy this, buy this. He just said, this is what I got. Look at this. So I started looking at some stuff. I went to a couple of magazines, did a couple of research. But, you know, no matter what decision I make, it's on me. It ain't on Mo. If I would have got $1 million, if we're being honest, because that's what y'all hate to be, you know, I like Mo, so I can't even say that. But if it would have been a regular person, I wouldn't have shot them nothing. I would have been like, shit, Mo gave me some good decisions. I might have shot him something. But if I lose, is he going to shoot me something? No, because that ain't the way the system works. But again, it's my decision to invest in what I invest in. It's Mo's decision to invest in what he invests in. But at some point, we have to be accountable to our own selves about what we invest in, because we keep being grown, but every time something goes wrong, it's somebody else's fault. Yeah, that's the part that just drives me crazy.
On that note, if you expand, you know, the logic that you're talking about, the idea is that you always have to do your own research, no matter what somebody tell you.
Always.
No matter what you hear, no matter what no matter what somebody tells you, advice you get. Even in my case, I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna throw this story out there just because it's a good story that taught me that very lesson, that I always have to, you know, do some research. So my the insurance company I had, they told me, you know, the following insurance year was coming up. They said, oh, I'm gonna make these numbers up. They said, oh, your insurance is gonna be $500 for the year. And it had been like that for about 3 years. And I said, look, I haven't had no accidents. I haven't gotten in trouble. I haven't done anything. So why am I paying the same insurance 3 years later? So I started doing some research, started getting information, and I just bottom line it. Bottom line is this here. If you don't call your insurance company and tell them you want them to revise your policy, they are not going to drop your insurance. Because I called them and I said, listen, my insurance has been this rate for 3 years, but I haven't had any accidents. I haven't done anything. In less than 30 seconds, the girl came back on the phone and said, okay, we'll drop it down, you know, and it saved $200 a year. We'll drop it down and save me $200 a year. Y'all know I was pissed. You know that, because that ain't right? Somebody should get smacked. You know, you can't go around doing that. Somebody need to get smacked up, for real, because that's just like them saying, well, we know we could give him a discount, but we just going to keep taking his money. You know what I'm saying? Until he find out. That's the world, though. That's the world.
But like I said, you know, these are things that when somebody share with you, everybody don't do. You know, I know people who do the thing where they keep switching every year for a better rate. And it's crazy because I've gotten 2 letters saying that, you know, I got a reduction or a good driver thing. So, you know, it is what it is. But again, the point is we got to stop looking for other people to tell us the answers to our own personal issues. At some point, we got to take control of them. Like I said, and you may not know the answer. but you go out and do some research. You go out and ask other people. I said, that's the main reason I talk to strangers, just to get different opinions. Every now and then somebody says something, you're like, damn, I ain't never think of that. And that's a damn good idea.
Yeah.
But if you continually talk to your circle, y'all tend to start thinking alike, especially for those of y'all who don't like people who will knowingly and willingly play devil's advocate to make sure that you're making a good decision. You know, it's cool to be around like-minded people, but at the end of the day, you're not growing. Because if I know how Mo is going to finish the sentence, then why do I need him on the show? I mean, I could do it myself. You know.
Oh, yeah, man. That's you. Listen, I got to jump in here because what you just said is valuable, man. You know, people like to surround themselves with like-minded folks. I'm like you, DVP. I need the consenting opinion. In fact, I got a story where we was in a group of like 8 people, and everybody, 7 people thought the same way. One person thought differently. And I came in, I asked everybody a question. 7 people thought the same way. One person thought differently. The one person who thought differently had the right answer. And as far as I'm concerned, for me, had the right answer for me. So I'm like, you gotta listen to, you can listen to everybody. Don't mean you gotta take that advice, right? You can listen to everybody so you can get different opinions, but you take what works for you.
Because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own decision. And like I said, that's what we don't like, to take accountability. And I'm we're at the 20-minute mark almost. And I'm a drift because again, I was having a conversation with somebody and I joke about religion. I don't knock anybody who's for it. If it make your life better, do what you do. Right. But don't push it on me. Like I won't push my non-religious beliefs on you. But when I ask you a simple question like, are you religious, Mo?
No.
Okay, good. So I want you to be my devil's advocate. So when we're talking and every time something good happens, everybody say, thank God. But then if I go to the next table, I'll hear the same people saying the devil will give you something to knock you off track. He'll give you something good. So when you get something good, how you know it ain't the devil trying to sway you into another way of thinking? Why does everything good get blamed on God? Even though y'all have said the devil, that's how the devil trick you. He'll give you something nice and shiny.
Yeah, you don't know.
Y'all losing me. And then when something bad happens, you quickly blame God. And again, what if God made something bad happen so that you missed that flight or you missed that appointment or you didn't get that job you really wanted because it wasn't good for you? But when that happens, you blame the devil. The devil wants you to get that job. So it's like, what's up, Mel? I hope you got a melodic vacation for me, darling. So how do you get to that point where you know what's what? And whenever I try to have this, to me, seemingly intelligent conversation, it always ends up in a huff because you just know. Well, how do you know? Because I remember now, when I talk to people, the first thing everybody says is God don't make no mistakes. You heard that, Mo?
Oh, yeah, facts.
So if God don't make no mistakes, then Trump being our president is God's will.
Right.
Nasty devil. How did you figure that?
Right.
If God don't make no mistakes, which is what I heard y'all saying, y'all swear by it. What is it? God is good all the time and all the time. So if you believe that, then how can you call Trump a mistake? Oh, nasty devil. So it's like y'all got your own playbook and there's no consistency to it. It's like living with a bunch of me too's. Whatever I say, Mo gonna just be like, me too, me too. Man, it's raining outside. Yeah, it's raining. Yeah, it's raining over. I'm cold. Me too, me too. How do y'all get this? Because there is no discernment, as Melly Mel is saying. No, Varshay, I'm not starting trouble. I just got questions.
Yeah,
because,
look. Oh, go ahead.
When is something bad good? When is something good bad? So how do we keep placing it on somebody when, okay, this is where I'm gonna start trouble. Because a month ago, I did a show in studio and I said, I'm gonna say something because everybody keep talking about this have faith and yada, yada, yada. I'm not that dude. So I say, for those, make something happen. Let that window break. It's an easy fix. And then I'll change my thought process. All things work together for the good. And I'm not doubting that. It's that when you try to push your will onto me, Mel, if I believe what I believe and it don't affect your life, let me have my belief. If you believe what you believe and it doesn't affect my life, why should I care what you believe? Unless we're trying to co-join forces, and somewhere in that mix, it's required. See, I have some friends. My mother is a devout Christian. My son is a devout Christian. I know people who are like this. There are people who I know who live what I deem to be a Christian life. And there are people who I know to be Christian speakers, but their life says something totally different. But guess what? It ain't for me to judge. It's what they do. And I just look at them. And it's why I say, you know, people have so many problems with Christians because Christians are overbearing, because they always want to tell you about the good stuff and blame the bad stuff on one somebody. But if you look in the book, the big guy let bad stuff happen to good people. He even called some of the bad stuff. So I'm confused. But again, when we have discernment, if Mo believe in unicorns, how does that affect my life? If I believe in the tooth fairy, how does that affect Mo's life? So why is it we feel the need to try to push somebody to think like we think? All the while we hollering, you know, we're independent thinkers. I'm my own person. I ain't a follower. When in reality, Mo, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Have you ever had an independent thought that ain't nobody else ever thought of?
No.
So wouldn't that make you a follower too?
Absolutely.
We're all followers. We're all followers.
There's grades of followers. There's grades of followers, though.
Whether you voted for Harris, whether you voted for Trump, whether you voted for Kennedy, whether you voted for one of them libertarians, you're a follower because you followed them. We're all followers. Y'all make it seem like being a follower is a bad thing. We're all followers. Oh, I march to the beat of my own drum. I don't see a drum, so whose beat you marching to?
So hold on, DVP. Before you go too far, I wanted to chime in on the religious section you were talking about, and I just want to say, I'm like you in the fact that if people want to be religious, they have no qualms for me. In fact, I encourage it. If you have, let's say I had a son or daughter or whatever, and they wanted to look into religion and be religious, you know, I'm here for it. I'm like, go ahead, do your research, you know, make sure this is what you want to do, and it's fine. I'm not the guy in the house saying, no, you know, I don't believe this, so you have to be that way. You know, I'm not that, because if I was that way, guess what? That'd make me a hypocrite. Because you know what people do that? The people that show up at your house at 7:30 in the morning talking about, have you heard the news? And then you say, what news? And they said, Jehovah has risen. You know, it's those folks. You know what I'm saying? They're pushing it down your throat. And so I'm not that guy. I'm not going to do that. And at the same time, though, I'm not going to say, don't follow that. People have to do their own work,
right,
to figure out where they want to be, you know. But what I will say is this: religion is not all bad if you find one that does. And I got 3 things that I think are beneficial. But if you don't, I mean, look, just like anything, if you don't follow the rules and you don't follow the guidelines, and you don't adhere to it, it means nothing, right? You can say, oh, I'm religious. That don't mean nothing to me. When I meet people nowadays, I do not qualify them based on them saying I'm a Christian. That don't mean nothing to me. What kind of person are you, right? So my thing is, with religion, it gives you a set of rules. It's a protective hedge. It's supposed to be a protective hedge. And it gives you guidelines. Now, if you follow them based on what the religion says, you know, that is probably going to put you somewhere in, you know, the middle of, you know, the people in the world, as far as in terms of if you're a good person or not. That's going to put you in the middle. The rest is now following it and doing things. That's going to push you, you know, further up and make you a better person. But I just look at it as a set of guidelines, a set of rules that you want to live your life by, and you ain't gonna have no problem with me because I'm all for it, like I said. But I have my own rules and guidelines. I believe more in spirituality than Christianity. In fact, one of the main reasons is because too many times Christianity has steered me in the wrong direction when I was a child, and I saw too much damage in the Christian space and lies and information and all kind of things. So, you know, I decided I'm gonna go my own path.
And like I said, I ain't here to bash whatever you believe in. Just don't try to impose your will on me and be something that you're not. Like I said, if you happy, I'm happy for you. Like I said, my mom and my son, man, they do what they do, and I let them. It doesn't bother me. I went out and was asked to pray over a meal. Well, that would make me a phony. Well, she's like, well, I pray over meals. I said, well, I won't stop you. Do your thing.
Right. Yeah.
I'll even hold hands with you.
Yeah, I do that too.
But what I'm not gonna do is be phony.
Yeah.
You know, I dated a girl. She said, well, I don't understand how you're not religious. You capitalize God. I said, you're supposed to. I said, just because I use correct English doesn't mean I'm a. I respect what it is. I respect people who believe in it. It's not for me to say or do anything different, because I want you to live your best life. And if living your best life means you think that goldfish speak English, do you? I'm so cool with that. And that's what I'm saying. I don't get how people want people to be like them, but you want independence. You want to be a free thinker, but your life only excels if you got people in your amen corner. And I've said more than once, even with Mo, even with Theo when he comes on, most of the people who come on this show have been people I have vehemently disagreed with about something, and we kept the conversation civil without calling each other names. We don't have to see things the same way. We don't have the same life experiences. So that in turn will determine how we view a lot of things. Mo wrote a book. I keep with me. He wrote a book. He wrote it. It's already published, y'all. But he still asked me what I thought about it. And when I read it and I told him some of the things that I thought that he was astray on or whatever, he took it. He didn't say nothing disparaging. He didn't talk about my mom and my dad. And he didn't tell me to go sleep with myself. He took it. And from there we went on, because that's what life is about. Just because we don't get critiquing versus criticizing. Criticizing, I've learned, is when you just complain about shit, but you don't have a solution. Critiquing is when I say, hey, this is where you kind of went off straight with this, because this is what actually happened, even though you may not see this. See, and there's a difference, because I was taught by one of the best people who I learned from. And she said, Darren, you're a smart guy, but don't come to me with a problem if you don't have a solution. Everybody's giving me problems, but nobody's giving me solutions. So if you ain't thought of one or come up with one or whatever, then keep it to yourself. And, you know, that became my mantra, because we can all complain about why we don't like something. Well, what would you do better? How can I make this better? Anybody who's talked to me after one of these shows, and I appreciate y'all giving me kudos and praise and liking my guests, but what's the question I always ask you? How can I make the show better? That's all I really want to know. So I'm cool with the critiquing. You know, some of y'all told me I don't let the guests talk enough. So I started getting more guests out there. There are times, I'll fall back. Hell, there have been times that I have accidentally disconnected and wasn't even rushing to get back because my co-host had it going on. They didn't need me. So, but I want to know how to get better. I don't need you, and I think we do a pretty good job most of the time, but I don't need you to pat me on my back. What were you gonna say, sir?
Oh no, I was gonna say that you know, what one of the principles you're getting at is having humility. You know, it takes a while to get there. You know, me and you, we over that 5-0 mark, so it takes a while to get humility. But at some point in your life, you're gonna look at things and just be able to say, "Oh, okay, well that's the wrong way to do it. I shouldn't have done that. Let me try something different," and you're gonna be okay with it.
Right.
But as a young stud, you know what I'm saying, you think you know everything. You think you can't be wrong. You know what I mean? You question everything. You can't be wrong. So, you know, that's a whole different. So that's why I was saying it's kind of ego driven. You know, to being able to take in this information and say and course correct. But that's a superpower, man. If you learn that early, if you learn being able to take in information and course correct, oh my God, man, you go so far, so far.
What's up, Shannon Nicole? There's another troublemaker right there. I ain't gonna call her out, but Shannon Nicole is a true troublemaker. I think she got me banned on my own page once or twice, but she says people only do what they feel you need their help versus needing advice. And it ain't even about needing advice. It's like once you say something, and this is one of the things that, as Mo said, I learned early. There are people who you can present certain people, if you surround yourself with the right people, when you present them with an idea, they can give you ways of enhancing it that never even crossed your mind, because some of them have done things before. They know people who've done things. They can give you some really sound advice. It's up to you to take it or not to take it. It's up to you. But most of us are just looking for some amens. We want to be told how great we are. And we learn yet with all these friends who tell us how great we are, how great our product is. But then the next thing you know, you post about how your friends don't support you. Mm-hmm. And you know why they don't support you? Because you got a shitty product. But they don't want to tell you that. They keep telling you how great your product is, but they're not buying it. And if you understand business, and I try to tell people this, if your business is dependent on your friends supporting you, you're destined to fail. Your friends are not good customers. They may buy, some of them may buy from you once or twice. That will not sustain you for 12 years. It will not sustain you for the whole year. But y'all don't want to market and see what the real people think. You don't have a business plan. You know, when I started my security company, I didn't start it because some friends told me. I started because some people told me I need to have my own company so they could hire me. So I had clients. I talked to some people in the security business to see what kind of things I needed to get started, because I knew some things, but I wasn't at the top. I was a newcomer. So yeah, you know, these people like me, they want to give me a shot. I need to know how pricing goes, because remember, I've been an employee, so I don't know the difference between the employee price and what people get paid versus what the owner gets paid. So I need help with all this. You can't ask a client that, because they can't tell you. But this is where we got to go beyond ourselves. As I started talking to other people who ran security companies, they told me how to do the markups. They told me how to do my profit margins. They told me what I was going to have to start paying for. But, you know, these are the things that we can go out and actively seek. Like I said, I always been interested in the stock market, never knew who to ask. When Mo said something, I jumped on it. I'm listening to what he's saying. Back then, you know, I was a faithful fan of his group because I was in there every day. I don't Facebook as much now because his group is still a good group. I saw some stuff in there the other day about what he wanted to learn, because he's trying to teach. He was doing the thing. I know he was doing the show on Saturdays where he was giving education tools. And it's like I tell you guys sometimes. The only reason I know some of y'all watch the show is because y'all will inbox me or say something to me, but y'all don't talk to me during the show. So sometimes I think I'm talking to myself. And then I just start cutting back on the show. Then all of a sudden I get these floods and why you ain't doing the show no more? And it's like, you never watch. It's like I'm there every week, but you never speak.
Gotta engage. Yeah.
So if you don't at least speak, so I know that there's somebody there, then I kind of don't know. So speak. Do what Shannon is doing. Ask questions. Give me something that way, because I don't need y'all to talk to myself. Hell, me and Mo friends, I call Mo on the phone and me and him talk. We don't need y'all, but as we're trying to, you know, we're trying to entertain, we're trying to educate, we're trying to, as Lil Wayne would say, we're trying to informate, we're trying to give all y'all that in 2 hours and have a good time. You know, even my girl Melly Mel, who used I'm finna throw shade on her, help me out with this some more. She used to help produce the show, but then she just kicked 2 old men to the curb. So I'm thinking it's age discrimination. I'm gonna have my AAR people get with her, and I'm gonna call Doge to see, because I ain't sure if it was age or that we ain't got no hair or that I got a white beard. I don't know which one it is, but I got my attorney looking into it, Melly Mel.
It's crazy.
But, you know, we pushed Mel to start doing things because she got a service with melodic getaways, and we need y'all to start traveling. We need y'all to start traveling. Look at what she got. She got me wanting to do some train stuff. I never knew this stuff existed. I want to ride one of these 3 to 7 day train trips, and you know, I'm gonna get me one of them luxury things. Only train I know is MARTA. But she got some good stuff going. So I'm what's the Facebook page for stock tips?
Oh, hold on before we go there. Remember what you're gonna ask. I gotta say a comment before I forget though. But I want to reply to what you're talking about in terms of business, because I want people to notice, because I think we got to change the way. If we change, let me put it this way. Let me say it the right way. If we change the way we look at business, we'll be more successful, especially the small businesses. Okay, because we all probably know. You walk into a small black business in some cases, and they treat you like garbage. All right, you know what it is. You know, I walked into a place. You know, I'm like, can I get the the steak and eggs and this and that? We out of that. Okay, no explanation, nothing. Not putting it in a way where it's understandable. It's just like, find something else. All right. So on that note, let me just go into this and say this real quick. But we was talking about black people doing business. All right. I want to tell y'all something about the Yiddish people. Let me tell you how the Yiddish people do business, because I look around and just, like I said, my life is a compilation of different information from different spaces. I don't discount nothing till I hear it and evaluate it for myself. So now this is something from what the Yiddish people do, which I think would be much beneficial in the black community. Very, very beneficial in the black community, because DVP started talking about how we do business. So I want to put this out there. This is what the Yiddish people do. And y'all tell me if you think it's a good idea or not. Okay, but it's not my idea. What they do, if a Yiddish person goes into a Yiddish establishment and they get bad service, what happens is they call the service owner, the manager, whoever it is, the business owner, and they say, listen, we need to have a sit down. And the business owner, because they know the way the business works, they say, okay, let's have a sit down. So they get, I'm making this up, they get maybe like 10 customers who have issues with the business. Maybe it's little things, maybe it's whatever it is, some big things, maybe some little things, right? They sit down with the owner or the manager and say, look, this is what we have a problem with. And they give them a list of things that they need to change or improve. And what typically happens is the business says that, and they tell them this is what they tell them before they even go into the talk. They say, listen, we're going to stick with you. We're not going nowhere else. We want to do business with you. But here are the things that need to get fixed and improved if you want us to stay with you. All right? We want to stay with you. But if you want to stay with you, fix these things. Otherwise, we ain't going to have no choice but to go somewhere else. And so they sit down, they give them the list, they tell them what's going on, and then the business owner gets the opportunity to make changes and fix those things. Maybe I'm speaking for myself, maybe I'm speaking for black masses, but if I go into a black, I don't care if it's black, white, orange, yellow, if I go into a business, I get bad service, I'm probably not coming back. And that's just the way it is. So, but with this process, if I knew that the owner would take feedback and information such that they can make improvements, I'll stick with you. I mean, I think that's genius, man. And that's one of the things I think we got to do. What do you think, DVP?
Oh, I think I lost you there.
Oh,
okay. I hear you. Okay.
I see you.
Yeah. No, I lost the sound.
Oh, okay.
But before we get now, because I don't want Kelly. Kelly went to APS, so I'm a little scared of her. So say the name of your group again.
Black Money and Finance.
Let me see, which page is she on so I can send it to her. Cause Kelly might try to let the air out my tires.
Just put her name in the chat. I'll send an invite.
All right, it's Black Money and Finance. Well, I'm gonna send her one. I want her to be able to go to it.
Oh, okay.
I don't want, like I say, she went to public schools. I don't want no junk out of her.
What's that? Or that mean you dangerous if you go to public schools?
Yeah, she the one I went to. Yeah, that mean you dangerous.
You dangerous.
Yeah, I know when to be scared. Hey. Sometimes you got to know when to run. But yeah, and this is one of those things where the information is there. It's just how willing are we? A lot of times we are so willing to let people tell us what they want to tell us, whether it interests us or not. And one of the things that I let people talk to me, because sometimes you don't know what interests you because they may say something you never thought about. But when you know you want something, you got to figure out where to go. So once Mo lit that fire up under me, and I stopped doing the Ennish thing. Well, I'll look at it tomorrow. I'll look at it this day. No, let me go and do this. Let me sign up for one of these. Let me start paying attention to this. What do you call that? Susie Orman thing. Let me start watching MSN, CNBC. Let me start watching some of this other stuff and see what's going on. And that's what I did. So that's how I made some of the investments. It's like, okay, but Mo got me on the right track. And from a realistic standpoint, if I was using the terminology that people use today, me and Mo can't be friends because technically we've never met. We know each other through the cyber world. But too many times we think we have to know people intimately and physically to listen to them. If somebody's saying some good shit, again, get you a frosted mug of STFU and listen, because sometimes that can be your inspiration. You know, I got some money put to the side. Mo said do this, Mo said, so I'm listening, and he ain't never, and this is important for me, ladies and gentlemen, do what you do. He ain't never said nothing about getting rich quick, because as soon as I hear that, I check out. Getting rich quick is a pipe dream. People who look like they got rich quick, 9 times out of 10, you just missed their struggle. You caught them at the end of the game.
Yeah, you ain't speaking nothing but facts, but let me just add to that too. The other thing to add what DVP said is if they make it seem easy too.
Right.
A lot of these dudes, you know how these marketers do it. They do stuff, they make it look so easy. It's like, no, it's not easy. Don't be stupid. It's not easy.
And Kelly, first of all, I was a hostage, so I didn't go to that school willingly. So what we're not gonna do is no, we're not doing that. We're not. But yeah, but this is and Shanko, there's some of it. Yeah, it is investing in yourself, but more so, what you're doing is you have to make yourself smarter so that you can invest in your own intellectual properties. Because if you don't know nothing, remember all these people who talked about crypto and Bitcoin, all that, and I still ain't knocking it. But remember all the people who say they got rich and all this. Ask them to give you $100. See, they ain't got it, but they telling you all this stuff they got. And trust me, I ain't gonna call no names out, but some of these people who made all these pretty posts about what they was doing, they hit me up. Yo, B, you think you could loan a brother $500? I'll give it to you next week. Well, see, I done learned from Judge Mathis. I ain't lending you no money. And I sure ain't doing it for tax and none of the other stuff. But looking at your page, 2-3 weeks ago, you was talking about how much you got in Bitcoin, how much you got in Robinhood, and how you balling out of control. Well, damn. So why you need $500 from me?
Right.
Hey man, I got this investment, man. It'll make you rich. Well, see, my tax guy said as soon as I hear that, hang up the phone. I don't even say bye no more. I just hang up the phone, and then I put you on block because I know you're gonna try to call me back. And Mo said something. Everybody try to make it seem easy, and it ain't that easy. And listen, now, I ain't telling y'all I'm no expert at nothing. But I'm gonna tell y'all the difference and I want y'all to listen because I'm gonna let Mo drill because he's attentive like that. I started a company. I got a security company. My wife works for me. But guess what? Here's the caveat. I'm also retired. So she's on my insurance plan. So whenever I hear people saying my wife worked for me, and I ain't knocking you, ladies and gentlemen, please don't take it that way. I'm just saying it's a whole lot different when she's on my insurance plan for my retirement, because if something happens while she's working for me, most people who got their own business don't have insurance. Insurance is expensive as hell for a business person. I got to do mine because, as my dad say, I did what I had to so that I could do what I want to. So when I retire, my insurance is taken care of. Now I can open up this business and only worry about making money. I ain't got to worry about, well, what happened if I break my leg? What happened if this happened? Well, I'm still get paid. And if I need to go to the doctor, it ain't gonna mess with nothing because all I gotta do is pay my copay / deductible, whatever you want to call it, from my retirement. I was talking and some lady was trying to clown me, telling me, oh, we do this. Okay, let I understand how business works. And I don't know many businesses I truly don't. Where they're small businesses in the truest concept, where the pay is that good. You do it out of love. But typically, we don't pay our kids and family what they worth. There are no benefits to working for us other than, oh, we doing this as a family. But again, if they don't work, will they get paid? Of course not. Because most small businesses don't give out sick days. They don't give out personal leave. There is no what do you call it when you get pregnant and you can't work?
Maternity.
There's no maternity leave when you're working for a lot of small businesses or people who got their own. Again, I'm not knocking you, but don't sit there and act like Mo said and act like it ain't hard. Because I'm in a whole different category. When I listen to people say, man, how you do it? Because I got a retirement plan. So it is easier for me. But nobody told me that. I looked into that. So yeah, I tell people when you're doing this, when people say, man, I'm looking at this job, it pay this, it pay this. What are the benefits? Well, I need to worry about benefits. Just in case you fuck around and break your leg. If you break your leg and you got insurance, you know, I'm out there playing basketball, I sprain my ankle, break my leg. It's gonna cost me, the little trip to the hospital, I think is $125. The x-rays and all the other stuff is taken care of. Without insurance, you looking at $40,000, $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So now, where that money coming from? All that money you was making, they finna put a lien on your house if you got one. They finna start going after your taxes. See, this is what people won't tell you when they try to make it sound like owning your own business is all this and all that. What's the title of the show? What the hell is going on here? What the hell? Stop lying to these people. Tell them some of the struggles they're gonna have so that they can be prepared for them. Because every business is gonna struggle. Every single one. Even as a security guy, sometimes there's no business. If I was dependent on this to live, if Trina was dependent on this to live, then what am I supposed to do? Oh man, now I need all my friends to start hiring me. They ain't got no money to hire me. And even if they did, the second greatest lie ever told was stop working for other people. So if everybody started believing not to work for other people, who's gonna work for you in your company? Everybody's not meant to run an organization. Some people are great workers. They're great, and that's what they do. Why do we feel the need to say to them, oh, you need to do this for yourself? Some people ain't got organization skills like that. The military, the Army especially, understood that. That's why the Army came up with the thing of specialists. And a specialist can get promoted, get raises without being made a supervisor because they're not good with people. They're good at their job. They don't want to supervise people because that's not what they're good at. But if you ask them to fix something, they can make a neutron bomb out of banana peels. But if you ask them to manage 6 people, they can't do it. That's too much stress on them. They just want to be good workers. So we got to quit acting like the only way to succeed in life is by being an entrepreneur. It's not. The way to succeed in life is to know who you are and what your truest capabilities are. Let's stop telling a lie you can be anything you want to be. You just put your mind to it. No. You gotta work. You gotta put your back into it. You gotta get that blood and sweat equity into this. Everybody ain't built for that. If you don't have a backup plan, you're gonna have to learn to love Roman numerals, whatever they call them. See, you're gonna learn to love eating out of a pot with some warm-up stuff, because you're gonna need them 12 for $1 meals. It ain't easy, ladies and gentlemen, but we try to shame people, or we try to act like it's so easy. And like I said, it's funny to me because people in my inbox, hey man, let me hold this. A brother sent me a friend request. 5 minutes later, he like, man, you seem like a good brother. I'm hitting on some hard times. Like, can you pay for me? Your page?
Oh my goodness.
I'm like, what the hell? Hey man, I try to keep people out my business. So you shared your business with a total stranger.
Wow.
And you want me to get you a room for a week? Hey man, you ain't got to send the money. I can just tell you what hotel I'm at. You can just pay them direct. For real. You'll be that nice to me. You'll let me pay for your hotel room direct. I mean, and don't take nothing wrong, but this is one of the phrases that my mom would say. That's mighty fucking white of you. You will let me pay for your hotel room? Oh, I feel special. But you don't know me. What's the return on my investment? Oh, because I'm in for the game now. And he messed around and said the wrong thing. You know what my return on investment was, Mo?
What's that?
God was gonna bless me.
Oh, a blessing? Oh man, you should have paid right up then. You should have paid right up.
Man, like, you gotta be shitting me.
That's crazy, man. That's nuts. In fact, yeah, why you see, look, so just
Luke Skywalker, what's good?
Getting back to serious for a minute. That what you just said, DVP, what you just said is one of the reasons why I'm not religious. You see how this brother tried to take that bullshit and use it against you?
Yeah.
If you was a astute, a firm believer in religion, you would have been like, yeah, well, maybe you're right. Here's the money. You see what I'm saying? But that kind of stuff right there, that manipulation right there, I seen that growing up. I see. Matter of fact, the people in the pulpit do it. You know what I mean? They tell you, look, you got to put money in the offer. You got to put your offers. You got to do your tithes. We just saw a little thing on that on TV, right? Dude locking the door, talking about put your tithes in the bin. You guys haven't been tithing. You know what I mean? And it's like, hold on a second now. This, you're supposed to be doing this out of goodwill, out of your heart. It's not supposed to be run like a business, but you got people coming here because they believe in you and they're looking for that faith and they have that faith and they believe in you, and they're already behind on the bills. They already got issues. They got problems. That's why they come into the church anyway, because it's an escape. It's a getaway. You know what I mean? You can be with people. You can be with your community, get some support. And now you ask me for money, but when I leave here, my heat's off and my electricity is still got to get paid. You know what I mean? So, but I'm I'll leave it there.
And I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes, and we're gonna switch subjects again because I'm on the roll. I had a meeting with some religious leaders, some community leaders, and I just asked one simple question. Tell me, with the money that y'all making, because I'm looking at some of y'all things, why don't y'all finance the elderly when their house is about to be repossessed? Because I've talked to some people who I deem to be smart.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was told to me is that in the old days, churches had the older people put them down on their insurance policy and would lend money against the insurance policy. It's like, oh, see, that's a business decision. That way they can still get their money. Most of these churches today don't educate you. They just keep telling you that you're going to hell for doing stuff. But why don't y'all support elderly when as Mo was talking, when the lights about to get cut off? Why aren't y'all doing stuff in the community? I ain't got nothing against your outreach program, but what's in Africa when you can go 3 blocks from any church and find homeless people? So why do y'all need to go to Africa to tell people about God and his mission? I'm always confused about that. And what's up, LeBron James? And that's where I get confused. And when, yes, churches are registered businesses, and by law, there are certain things they cannot do. So when people say why they don't talk about this and why they don't talk about that, why they don't speak more about crime, because they lose their benefits. So one of the things about churches is you have to know that they are businesses, and there are certain things that they cannot speak on. They cannot talk bad about public officials, which is why you'll see very few churches say anything bad about the president. It's against their charter. And pretty much all churches got the same thing for whatever category K or C that they fall under. So, because I used to wonder why they don't bring politicians in to make them explain why they didn't do what they said they was going to do. Mm-hmm. And it had to be explained to me because they can't. They cannot do it legally.
That's a separation of church and state, right?
But they bring them in there to campaign. The church will campaign for certain people, but they can't hold them responsible and say, hey, well, so-and-so didn't do what they said they're gonna do. We're gonna do this. They can say we don't like the current candidate, but they can't call nobody out by name. They can't attack like that. They have to be neutral and stay on point for what a church is supposed to do. But like I said, that's one of the things I learned. But like I said, why not take care of the community? Why not take care of the elderly first? Yeah, I don't believe you should be. Why don't y'all have nurses for low-income people or single parents? Why do they have to go to these expensive nurseries? I mean, if you're gonna do something for the community, and y'all know where these people stay, you know what hood you're in. Why not give these people something affordable while they go out and make a living? Or better yet, why not even hire some of these people? Yeah, 501c3. Thank you, Shannon. But with that, before we switch on, this is the same thing I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, about business. And we talked about this before. Ladies and gentlemen, get with a realtor. Get with 5, 6, 10, 15, 20 of business owners. Why not rent out? Why not buy a shopping mall? Why not buy a shopping mall? And what do you call it? The little ones, strip malls. And let everybody who got a small business be there. If y'all buy it, the rent is going to be way cheaper. But we don't understand equity versus equality because it costs $300,000. I'm going to put up $150,000. Mo want the same equality that I got, but I put up half of it. Mo put down 20. We got to stop being jealous of what other people are doing. We got to ask the real question: does this make my life easier? Because if we combine and we get 10 people to put their resources together to get a strip mall, instead of Mo having to pay $1,200 a month rent because we got it and it's for us and we ain't really trying to make a profit off each other while we do business, now his rent ain't but $600.
So look, DVP, man.
Yes, sir.
You I don't know, man. You be jumping in my head, man, getting my thoughts sometime, because I'm gonna tell you about this idea that I have. What you just said is it's one of the things I think it would be a game changer, to tell you the truth, because here's what the idea I have, which is along the same lines of what you just said. What we need to do is create our own pipeline. So what you just said was, why can't people get together, like you said, and buy a strip mall or get a strip mall or whatever? Because the reality is this: what you paying for rent is probably 3 times what you should be paying. It's probably at least 2. It's at least 2, maybe 3 times what you should be paying. So if you can afford that, you can afford to put to take a step back, put the money in, get that strip mall or whatever, that building where you can all have your own location. And the thing is that, there's a whole pipeline associated with that, because guess what? Once you get into that building and you get your own place, obviously in the beginning, if you keep all your customers, what's going to happen is, your cost basis should go down, right? Because you only charging. Look, we come in there. We got to get our haircuts. We got to get our braids done. We got to get our food. We got to get all kind of stuff, right? And your price, I guarantee, your price is based on what you're paying for rent and supplies. A lot of your prices are based on what you're paying for rent and supplies. It's not, as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe it's about black greed in those small business cases. It's more about black survival in small business cases, because look, man, the dude that I'm renting this place from is charging me $2,000 a month. So guess what? I gotta charge you $25 for a haircut. I have to. And so if I had a different overhead, I could change that, and the whole pipeline could change, and you could pay less, and I could pay less, and there's a whole pipeline effect. So that's amazing. That I'm waiting for that day, man. I can't do it myself. I just don't got it like that, but that would be.
But it's something that we got to start looking into, as you say, as we looking at other people who do stuff. This is what they're doing, and this is how they save money, because they're looking at a bigger picture. Because the owner of the building is in it to make a profit. Please believe, nobody owns a building for the good of the neighborhood. I don't care what excuse they give you. They're doing it for profit. Right. But if we control our own profit, and if we do it smartly and wisely, what kind of business you got? LeBron James? But Shannon, even with the credit, this is why you let the person who has the better stuff, you let them get more equity and more equality. Because let's just say I'm doing this, but I don't really have a business to put in there, but I got the credit and I got the capital. So yeah, once we start doing things, my return is going to be higher than most. And we got to quit looking at what I'm getting, because nobody looks at what I put in. They just keep looking at what I'm getting. So if I'm getting this and you're still getting something, what we have to do is not going to be the same. And this is where most of the time the black mentality hurts us, because we keep looking at the end picture. We don't look at, it's like on the business. On a business, you got to pay insurance, you got to pay this, you got to pay that. So people want to know, well, hey, I heard the client paying you $100. Why you only paying me $42? Well, You didn't find the client, you're not advertising, you're not paying for this, you're not paying for that. But why the hell am I even explaining this to you? You could always quit and go somewhere else. Somebody else wants this job. But we have a tendency to be jealous of those who have something, and we think that we're equal to it. That's what hurts most athletes when they bring their crew along. Most athletes are brought down by their crew, not by somebody else, because somebody in their crew is jealous. Oh man, I used to beat him back in the day. Why he making all this? And then he only, I got a contract. I'm a professional athlete. I'm making 23. I'm gonna just take it. There's 82 basketball games. No, we're gonna do football. There's 16 football games a year. So I'm a football player. I'm making $16 million a year, which making 18, which means I'm making $1 million a game. I got my boys who ain't got nothing. I'm shooting them I'm shooting them $60,000 to $70,000 a year. Well, one on one know why he ain't making $100,000 because I'm making $1 million. What make you work? What make you think you worth 1/10? I'm the one who's doing everything. Man, we've been boys for years, right? And for years I've been pulling you along. And the jealousy comes in, and it's crazy that we can't see beyond this. And I'm gonna say this because it was a show that somebody had told me to do. This is where we gotta quit being niggerisms. Sometimes you gotta leave the niggas behind. I don't care how cool y'all were with them, but niggas want to bring you down. Niggas don't want to see you get ahead. And Colin Powell said we all may look alike, but we're not the same. We gotta stop. We gotta stop and trust and believe. I have some friends that fall into that category. I go hang out with them. I never let them come hang out with me because they're not welcome in my world, because I know they'll try to bring it down. So I don't want that. And ladies and gentlemen, we have to have discernment. Melly Mel's word for the show. We have to have discernment. All people ain't meant for us to go ahead with. Some people are there for a reason. Some people are there for a season. We got to know who is who and decide how long they get to stay. But the minute you become a threat to what I'm doing, it's time for us to say bye. It's time to say bye. So we can't keep pulling everybody along. Man, that's been my friend since forever. No, y'all been knowing each other since forever. Because there's two things that will bring out character: being broke and being rich.
Right.
Those things will tell you where you stand with people. They tell you more than anything else. But oh man, they're gonna be with me for this. Oh man, I remember one of the first real fights I got into. I was around people who knew me. I thought we was friends. When the fight happened, I looked up. It was only me and the two guys who was jumping me. My sixth friend. Oh man, I thought you could handle them. Even if you thought that, that's not the point, player. That's not the point.
Oh man,
you really.
I wouldn't do you like that, DVP, man. That's wrong, man.
Oh man, you know, next time we got, bro, you think it's gonna be a next time?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, my nickname ain't never been Boo Boo. It ain't gonna never be Boo Boo. So I was just like, man, I couldn't believe this. I was just like, but I learned you gotta learn who to let go, because when you got money, and we argue about this, and I'm gonna tell people, money will buy you the truest of friends. As long as you got money, people say what they need to say to stay in your circle. So you really don't know who's got you. When you ain't got no money, like with me, when I ain't got no money, trouble is always on my shoulder. When I got a plenty of money, trouble is always on my shoulder. That's why I rock with Trouble no matter what. And Mo ain't doing his job, and I keep telling Mo to give Trouble a part-time job, but Mo won't do it. He won't do it. Go ahead, you were finna say something, sir.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, man, like what you're saying, one thing I think a lot of people don't focus on is, when you talk about these quote unquote friends, you gotta keep in mind their resume. This is what everybody got a resume. Every damn body got a resume. Your friends got a resume. The girl you with got a resume. The man you with got a resume. Everybody got a resume. And you got to make sure you read their resume real carefully, right? That way you know who you're dealing with. If you're gonna keep them in your circle, I want to know what you're about, right? I want to know that. And I know he wouldn't do this, but I want to know that if I get jumped, DVP is not gonna be there. So guess what? I'm gonna be strapped. So I'm gonna be ready. I don't have to depend on my man that's with me that night. I know what he's about, though, right? But we all everything got categories, and you got to make sure you know where your categories are. You know what I mean? Everything.
And it's crazy. I dated this girl once. Cool as a fan. Who did she wanted to be? And I got a friend. I'm roughly 6 feet tall, 65 pounds at the time. My friend is probably 6'4", 280 easy. Big black dude. So, you know, me and my girl, we driving and we going to somewhere I know he work at to grab something to eat. So, you know, we greet each other like we do. We greet each other angrily, like we don't know each other. So, you know, he in uniform. I get out the car and I see, what's up, man? He said, what you doing? Ain't you banned from the property, man? You better get up out of here. And he walked up on me. I wasn't paying attention and I should have told her. But I looked up. I seen my girl at the time. She done slipped out the car. She got a razor blade in her hand. She finna get buddy.
Oh, man.
I said, baby, he my friend. He my friend. She like, oh, I thought he was finna run up on you.
Oh, man.
And I tell people, as hood as she was a keeper because she was not gonna let nothing happen to me. As big as this dude was, she was gonna creep up on him and get him up off me. You don't have that kind of loyalty from too many people.
No, not at all.
Because I'm like, she could have just sat in the car, started calling 911 or something. She ain't even hunked the horn or nothing, bro. I ain't even heard the door shut yet. I just looked up and I saw that gleam when that razor blade hit and her hand was already up. Whoa. It's my dude. We just playing. We just, yo. She like, oh, I ain't know. I was finna get him though. So yeah. I'm like, man, boy, you like to been a stack. He like, man, I need me one of them. Where you get her from? I was like, bro, I got her from the depths of hell. She's a keeper. Hey, but hey, that was back in my wild days. I ain't about that life no more. And I don't speak to people like that no more. But seriously, when we're doing things, you got to know what people fit in your world. Because I want to say, if we're being honest, we probably know, we probably truly know some ain't shit people. And we still fuck with them, but we keep them at a distance. They can't come to the house. It's like I used to say, when I first became a cop, I still played basketball with some of my ain't shit friends, but I went to the court. The court was supposed to be neutral ground, and the people who were there made sure that they didn't sell drugs while we were playing basketball, because this is our neutral territory. And they say, hey, no, we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna respect my hustle. I'm gonna respect their hustle. And if I catch y'all on the street slipping, y'all know what it is. But right here, this is all just supposed to be us reminiscing. And but you gotta know who people are and where they fit in your life. And we gotta stop setting ourselves a pipe dream about what it is they do and who it is they are. Yes, sir. I was a cop for 22 years. And hey, man, most of the cops wouldn't even believe me. I got arrested twice for impersonating a cop because the cops didn't believe I was a cop, which was the craziest shit ever. But I got locked up twice for it. All right, I'm gonna hit you up. Look at see, Mel leaving us for a bunch of half-dressed men. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is she hey, yeah, I'm gonna have my attorney call you, Mel, but I'm gonna get you Melodic Getaway out the way. So, before I forget, Mel has a page, Melodic Getaways. I'm gonna put it up. Y'all go check her out. Like I said, she got some hella things going on. I'm gonna tell y'all about one of them before we leave, because again, this is what we do. See how quick I broke out Mel? See. I don't understand. Can y'all see this?
You glitching in the matrix, brother.
Yeah, I figured out what it was with my background. That's probably what I want to do. Anyway, Mo got 2 books. I keep them right here so I can advertise for them. If I know somebody who got something good, I'm gonna self-advertise anyway. Because that's what I do. That's what I can do. let me just change the subject right quick. Then I'm going to a commercial. Do you watch football, Mo?
I stopped, man. Okay.
So did you hear anything that was going on with Shedeur Sanders?
Yes.
Okay. This is the crazy shit going. I understand my people, and I really wanna bask in the glory. I really do. Shedeur Sanders is gonna be rich. Shedeur Sanders is rich. What people have done to prove their point is they're going to his website to buy his jersey from him so that the NFL don't get a cut. And I'm gonna tell you why that's stupid, because Shedeur got it from them. But here again, y'all gonna band together and help make a rich person richer, but y'all won't support your friend. To me, that has got to be one of the most ass backwards supporting system going on. We have a tendency, we have a history of making rich people richer. but we won't help our friends.
And those same people, I know it, I know they are, the same people won't help that dude that's outside. When you come outside of CVS, he's sitting there with a bag and his carriage and all that stuff. You won't hit him off with $1 or $2 or whatever. But we definitely got to support Shedeur Sanders, who's already rich beyond what any of us can even think of. You know, that is stupid. That's dumb.
And y'all brag about it. So you're gonna buy this $145 jersey, but you won't support your friends. You won't go get your nails done at your girl's shop. You won't let your boy cut your hair.
Right.
I just don't get how we come to that conclusion of supporting millionaires but not supporting our friends. So that to me is it screams I need help.
We need Dr. Deb for what I'm going to say, but I think it's psychological, man. I think if you think you're contributing to somebody who's doing greatness, doing something that's great or good stuff, then you think that kind of somehow rubs off on you. It's got to be something like that, because otherwise it makes no sense. You know what I mean? That some people who already have a golden ticket, you'll be more concerned with them than folks who are on the street one day away from starving to death. You know what I mean? So it's like how people even get there. Like I said, we need a psychologist.
Hey man, Dr. Anderson's an MD. How you doing, Doc? I ainn never seen him before. Where you watching from, Doc? Where you watching from, LeBron? Hey, all y'all new people. What's up, Theo? Why you ain't on the show, man? You got the link.
Theo's I'm in the chat, man. What you looking at, DVP?
I'm looking at the messages.
I'm in the messages. Yeah, I don't see it.
Yeah. Okay. Go to comments. Don't do private chat.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Doc watching from Florida. That's what's up. But yeah. So, but I just can't get why we're so gung ho on supporting rich people. But again, see, that's that sheep mentality. But we're gonna call it something else. We're gonna call it promoting somebody. But we're promoting rich people. And so for this same $185 jersey that you're going to buy direct from him, that the NFL still get a cut, they just don't get as big a cut. You could have got a haircut from your overpriced barber friend who's charging you $50. You could have got your girl's nails done for $75 to $80. And you could have did something local in your neighborhood. And while we don't support our own neighborhoods while they're going down, that's the crazy thing. We don't support our own neighborhoods, which is why I'm so into let's start buying strip malls in our own neighborhood and creating, making our neighborhoods better places. See, if I buy a business, if Mo get a business, if Shannon get a business, and we hire these kids, especially high school seniors and juniors, to work from us, see, we're putting money in the neighborhood. We're making the neighborhood richer. And these kids, their parents are going to support them. The grandparents are going to support them. Their friends, the kids are something different. Kids will support each other. Adults don't. LeBron said they could have bought some weed from him instead of giving the money to millionaires. but you know, I ain't even finna be mad. If you're gonna buy weed, why not buy it from somebody in your neighborhood? Why are you going somewhere else? We got to learn to support. We got to learn to support the poorest of us who are trying to do something, as opposed to bandwagoning and keep supporting rich people. I'm never gonna be a fan of that. But we will make millionaires multimillionaires. But our friend who's a hundreder, we want them to be as low as we are. Not knowing that when I do this, and I ask Mo to come on here, I ask Theo to come on here, and Lord knows I done tried to get them to host a show in California, which I'll be next week, because I believe in them. They like having me around. But guess what? I like having them around. I'm as big a crush for them as they are for me. Because sometimes I need them. Because sometimes I'm tired. I don't have shit to say. Sometimes y'all don't talk back to me. And I'll do a 30-minute show and log off. I need to be more consistent. But it's hard for me to be consistent without you guys talking to me. And I appreciate all of y'all, especially the new people, LeBron, Doc. I appreciate y'all. Theo, I'm still mad at you, but I'm accept the fact that you doing the A-grade prom prep thing, and let that be that. But you got a phone, sir. So anyway, have y'all noticed this? I should have called this a shade throwing show. I didn't know so many people was gonna throw it for me to throw shade at though. But this is what we got to do. We got to stop hoping and waiting for somebody to come save us from ourselves when we can just make a plan to do things. We can make a plan. We can start getting with like-minded people who are about business and accept that. Before I talked about single point of failure, we don't all have to have the same way of getting there. We just have to want to get to the top. Mo wants to do it this way. DVP want to do it this way. LeBron want to do it this way. Well, for me, that works because if we all pick Mo's way, when we hit a roadblock, what happened? We're stopped. There's nowhere for us to go. But if LeBron and me got away, if Mo way failed, he can just come on over here. Somebody said, oh, if you got a plan B and a plan C, that means you know your plan A won't work. Do you only know one way to get home? Of course not. Most of us know several ways to get home. Why? Because sometimes there's a traffic jam. Sometimes something else happens. So, yeah. So, with that being said, Mo, I'm gonna take a quick break because I want to play a commercial. You got anything you want? Because I know you'll forget shit and you'll blame it on me.
No, we good. We good. Go ahead. Let's go to break and we'll come back and we keep kicking it, man.
We're gonna be back. Like I said, this is just a quick one because again, I like to promote my peoples. So this is somebody who helped me refinance my house. Give them a call.
I love Atlanta, a city in the forest. Hi, I'm Jeff Cleveland, seasoned loan officer in the Atlanta market. And whether you're buying a new home, refinancing to do debt consolidation, home improvements, or just to lower your payment, give me a call. I'll ensure that you're treated with dignity and respect, that you're informed throughout the process, and that there are no surprises at closing. Give me a call and let's get started.
Hold on, Kimberly Lockhart, where you at? Kimberly Lockhart, because I'm old. Some of y'all probably, y'all ain't as old as me. Kimberly Lockhart is, I want to say Silky Slim was her cousin from Uptown Saturday Night. Just because I know way too much about stuff. Where you at, Kimberly Lockhart? Come on over here and say something. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we gotta do a better job of promoting each other. We got to do a better job of uplifting each other, especially those that deserve it. LeBron, I ain't a fan of you selling weed. Let me just get that out of the way. It's still illegal. But I like your entrepreneurial skills. I want you to find something else to do so that you don't put yourself in harm's way, brother. Because the fact that you're trying means you're better than that. So here's I don't want y'all to get mad, but here we go. Here's some more what the hell is going on stuff. Okay, so I'm looking at this black man who killed a cop because cops killed his son. And I'm looking at people who are saying he was justified. I'm looking at people who are saying cops getting what they deserve. I'm streaming, I'm on Facebook and YouTube. I'm not sure where it is. This is my JBN. I just do my thing with my JBN. But on Facebook, it's Random Thoughts with DVP no matter where you look. Facebook, Instagram. I ain't on TikTok yet, I don't think. I don't know. I'm just a dude. But anyway, so this young man, I use the term loosely, kills a cop because the cops killed his son. And I see all these people co-signing on it. Oh, I would have did the same thing too. And I went to a couple of chats. And don't get it twisted. For those of y'all who know, I was a cop, but I also investigated dirty cops. I'm not a fan of them. But trying to have a war like that is dumb. It's dumb. That's like me saying, I know a girl who got raped by a black man, so I'm going to kill every black man. That's like women saying, because a black man beat a woman, they should kill every black man. That's dumb. Philip, get with LeBron, because you can't do a dispensary here, but LeBron, where you at again? What state you in? But if we're going to seek vengeance, seek it against the right person. But to sit there and co-sign on it, and then when something happens in your neighborhood, you cry and tell me, oh, so-and-so was a good guy. He didn't deserve this. Well, what did that cop do to deserve being killed? He didn't do nothing to them. He had nothing to do with his son. And somebody made the dumbass statement about, oh, all y'all cops got to stop protecting each other. And I've been through this several thousand fucking times. If you're going to label us all bad, when a cop does something wrong, I want you to tell me what other cops were with him to hold him accountable. If no other cop was with him, who was going to stop him? Did you file a complaint? And if you didn't, again, have a frosty mug because you didn't do the first part. Because if we start talking about family members, and we all know we got shady family members, do you turn them in? No. So why is it y'all want to hold cops to a different standard when they're not even there? They may not even know each other. I worked in a 1,000-man department. Even though I trained, I still probably only knew, at best, I knew 70. At best. You know, if they pass in front of me, I might have recognized them from training, but because I'm training so many different agencies, I don't know all these people. So when people say I should have known, how in the hell should I have known? That's like holding me accountable for Mo. Mo is my co-host. How in the hell do I know what Mo do when I ain't around? I can almost say I know what Mo do from 6 to 8, but that too would be a lie because when we came back from break, he wasn't on camera. So Mo could have went and stabbed the shit out of 6 people. I can't sit here, but you're going to hold me accountable for that? Mo been on the show when my cameras blinked off. Was it an accident or was it true technical difficulty? So there are times for 10, 15 minutes, he can't say what I'm doing. See, Stephen A. Smith said the perfect thing about Shannon Sharpe. He said, listen, I know this brother, I trust this brother, but our relationship is strictly professional. I've never hung out with him. I can say when he's on the set, he's a professional. And he left it at that. If you don't see other cops with these bad cops, you can't assume that they know. What you can assume that is if you saw something bad and you didn't do shit about it, you were an enabler. But they ain't gonna do nothing no way. Okay, so you're your own worst enemy. We've been seeing cops get locked up on a regular basis now for the past 6, 7 years, probably longer than that. So if you choose not to do nothing, that's on you. And Mo can tell you, he wrote a book, I'm finna mispronounce it, The Good, the Bad, and the Blue. So he get to see it from both sides. When I do my police, my law and order shows, I let Mo ask me questions. He's a civilian and I'm no cop, and I try to explain stuff to you guys in layman's terms because I don't want to come off as trying to be condescending and talking to a level that you can't understand. But it's stupid to blame all cops for one cop. And right, Philip, we're the same. Meanwhile, George Zimmerman's still walking around. But all these thugs who seek retribution, again, I'm not preaching violence, but who gave George Zimmerman the business? It was a white dude. Not Snoop, not none of these gangbangers, not none of these people who claim they don't like stuff. But the minute it's us against us or us against stupidity, we're in the front lines.
And so let me clear something up too.
Go ahead.
George Zimmerman's freedom had nothing to do with police. His freedom occurred because of the judicial system. That has nothing to do with the police. So just keep that in mind. That's a judicial system. And different organization.
And the thing is even knowing that it's because when people sent it to me, and I told them, I looked at Florida statute. By law, Zimmerman is innocent. By law. But guess what your hero told you? Guess what your NAACP and all these other people told you? They never encouraged y'all to go out and vote to get the law changed. Never even spoke on it. See, this is where being ignorant will lead us astray. There's a guy who names rhyme with Trump is leading y'all astray. He's getting paid. He's getting paid. Look it up. Look it up.
And let me add this.
Go ahead.
I don't know if people know this, but I don't know how many people even looked at their ballots because I'm going to tell you this. They have judges. They have police commissioners. They have all kind of stuff on your voting ballot. You get to vote for those things as well, not just for your president. So if you want to have a say, you have to vote. That's the way the country is wired, so that we work on a voting system. So if you're not voting, you really can't complain.
You can't. And like I said, when I ask the people, every time a cop get off, who's the judge that did it?
Exactly. Yeah.
And y'all scared to say their name, which makes me believe that y'all tend to be scared of people in power, or if we're being honest, y'all scared of white people. Because nobody can tell me the judges' names who do things. You can say somebody who is a meaningless person, who's a ball bearing in this whole system. And I get what you're saying, Philip. Vigilante justice is a response to systemic denial of justice. As long as you're willing to accept the consequences that come with it, go for it. But they're not. They're not, because they do it. And it's like anything else. People tell you, if you find out who did harm to you, and let's say you kill them, do you feel any better? And the consequences that come with it, and I talk about this quite often, if something happens, and let's just say something happens to somebody important to me, and we'll even use one of my children, and we're going to use me and Mo for practicality's sake. Mo does something to one of my children. I go kill Mo. So now I got to go to jail. Well, now who's going to protect my wife and children from most people who are going to seek retribution? Because I'm in jail. So when does it stop?
Yeah.
When does it stop? Because retribution. And, some people ain't got nothing to live for. But then everybody started crying, oh, he deserved mercy. Why? Why does he deserve mercy? He recklessly killed a person who didn't have nothing to do with what's going on. Nothing. And we're sitting behind it because the systemic denial of justice, which I will never deny, also comes from us. Because remember now, we believe in no snitching. So we're okay with being unjustified. Because you can't have the two. If you want justice, when is justice? When do you get justice? I'm talking to Mo. Mo said, I want you to be honest with me, D. And I said, when? Well, he says, only be honest from 6 to 8. Any other time you can tell me whatever. So that means you don't want honesty. You want selective honesty. So we're doing the same thing with the systemic denial of justice. We want selective, because the first time, I ain't snitching. So a man broke in, raped so-and-so, killed the kids, and all this. I don't know nothing. But then you get mad at the system because they don't investigate. But who is that investigating? People that don't want to say shit. We can't keep being selective. Either we're gonna do it or we're not. Either we're okay with being harmed or we're not. But you can't have it one way from 12 to 6, then switch up from 6 to 12 and keep switching back. And people got to keep up with your time frames. So this whole we're king, we're the victim king, which is the straight craziest bullshit I ever heard. What are we gonna be? Are we gonna be warriors and fight for each other and defend each other? Am I my brother's keeper? Oh damn! All depends on who my brother is. As Mo said, if me and Mo somewhere, yeah, I'm my brother's keeper. If me and some of these other dudes, I'm not gonna tell that lie.
You don't know what's gonna happen,
I know it ain't gonna happen. I'm not gonna put myself in harm's way for that dude.
Yeah, right.
So when do we start wanting real justice, which will include, and see, this is the part I really and truly hate. We'll play the race card, which is cute. White people offer money for silence. They don't offer it as a condition of I ain't snitching. Oh, they'll be quiet, but you're gonna pay them. There's going to be a financial windfall for them. For us, what are we getting?
We silence already. Yeah.
What are we getting? We're getting repeat offenders. I told a story, and I ain't gonna harp on this, of a girl who told me she know who killed her next door neighbor, but she don't want to say nothing because the guy saw her. So the guy saw you, but you ain't gonna say nothing. You know he's a killer. How does that work again? Law enforcement has all the power to break the cycle. No, they don't. No, they don't. Don't do that.
No, they
Law
don't.
enforcement can only be certain places. If you know what's going on in your neighborhood and you fail to say anything, what can law enforcement do about that? See, we can't keep putting the blame on everybody else. When you want your home to be safe, you got to protect your home first. You can't keep depending on everybody else to do it. See, that's where we have to make different decisions. When Sean Taylor was killed in his house, I guarantee you those people had been brought to his house before by his friends. What could law enforcement do about that? What could they do? What could law enforcement do about all the shit that was going on with P. Diddy? What could they do? Who was complaining? See, people want to give law enforcement, who are humans, so much credit, but then you'll say the cops ain't no better than nobody else. And I'm sure you've heard that, right? More cops ain't no better than nobody else, right?
In terms of,
I mean, as far as the people saying it, oh, he ain't no better than me.
oh
Yeah.
all the time. Yeah.
If we ain't no better than you and we're human, why do you think all of a sudden we're gonna do some inhuman shit? We make mistakes. We have emotions. Sometimes we dead ass wrong. Sometimes, like a lot of y'all, sometimes it's true. We abuse power. I don't know nobody who has had power that didn't abuse it. Sometimes you don't mean to. Sometimes it just is what it is. To break the cycle of them being killed by vigilantes, how does law enforcement have that power? In 2 weeks we're gonna have that conversation. I want you to keep that one because we're gonna let the man who wrote The Good, the Bad, and the Blue be our mediator. Oh, you can see it good now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Why don't people kill doctors? They do. They do. It just don't make the news. How many school shootings have we seen, Philip? Come on, now don't do that. Don't do that. How many school shootings have we seen? Who got killed in them school shootings? It wasn't just students. When there's a arson and a fireman dies, you know what you won't see? You will very rarely see it make the news. Very rarely. But it happens more often than you would know.
When the Empire State Building fell, I can guarantee you a bunch of firefighters died.
So, you know, but because the media does what the media does and we let them dictate to us what we'll do, but they're held to the standard of that bad. Civilians aren't. But see, you know what you're doing right now, right? You're moving that goalpost. You're moving that goalpost.
Yeah, no. Look at. So I'm seeing the comments now too, and I'm just want to. My side of this is just I got to let Philip know that there's a duality, or it could be even more complex than that. But there's a multifaceted way that you have to look at this. There's so many factors involved that you can't just say one thing without considering everything, right? So when you say treat people with basic human decency, for example, everybody don't deserve that. There's some people out here that are real vicious that need, when the police show up, they need to be able to handle that. Okay, so I ain't treating them with decency. Okay, but then you got this other, that's why I said it's a duality thing. Then you got these other people, right? When somebody has something like a psychological issue or something like a problem, walk in or whatever, they don't deserve to be hurt by the police either. So you got this one singular person. I always think the police instruction should be different, but you got the singular person that needs to manage both of those. I can tell you right now, that's always going to be a problem. Always.
But here's a quick fix. Here's a quick fix. Why don't more of us join the police department and stop it? See, me and Mo can't sit here and complain about the lack of black male school teachers if we're not willing to go teach school. Oh, it's somebody else to fix. Then we're doing the same thing. We want somebody else to fix the problem that we see. So if we know that there's a problem, and we'll take me. I treat people with basic human decency. But you know what? You know what's gonna be said? Oh, you just won. Okay, well, the one who doing it is just one. It's just one. Because when I challenge all my friends, and Philip, I challenge you to do the same thing too. When I challenge all my friends to make a post about how many people had a police interaction, ask them how many of them got killed, how many got shot, how many got unfairly persecuted. Don't nobody want to do that because the numbers will bear it out that it doesn't happen that often. It's a true minority thing. Less than 1% of cops are bad. But every time they want to make the argument, they want to make it seem like it's 40%. I ain't saying that none of it is right. But if Mo took the time to write a book about police killings, and it's 52 weeks in a year about unlawful police killings, it would have took him a hell of a long time to come up with 52 cases. Because it ain't that many like that. It ain't that many. And even when you look at some of them, they're suicide by cop that just doesn't get investigated. You hear that the cop killed somebody, but if they were shooting first, what is it? But it's still gonna say cop kills person. So we can't do this where we don't take no accountability, no responsibility, because way too many people have been pulled over without any incident. And I guarantee you the numbers bear it out that 99% of people, the worst thing they can tell you is that the cop was rude to them. That's it.
You know, personally, I think it's a kind of a waste of time looking at policing in totality. You got to look at the cases. You got to look at the issues instance by instance and try to fix those problems. But to say in totality, this is the situation, this is the circumstance, that's kind of going to be a waste of time, you know?
And I'm going to say this, we're going to move off of this. But name another job, any other job where your coworker can get killed and it's still business as usual. But we expect to go out there and still be human. No other human has to do that. No other human does that. We still got to go on pulling speeders over. We still got to go on doing other stuff. And people don't want to give the credit where credit is due. When something happens, do the stats. When there's a cop kill, I guarantee you cop killings don't go up. If we were that violent and that reckless, every time a cop would kill, cops who have the power, who have the gun, who have the right to write the story first, they could just start killing in mass. Is that what we want? We can't win that war because there are too many law-abiding citizens that's going to stop for the blue light. But the cop says, well, shit, somebody just shot one of ours. We don't know who it is. We're just going to shoot people anyway. See, if they adopt the same mentality we adopt, who loses that game at the end of the day? Who loses that game? And that's why we have to be really careful about doing crazy shit for the dumb reasons and blaming somebody else, which is what we love to do. We don't want to take care of each other, but we don't want nobody else to hurt us either. See, make that make sense. Mo go to the door and say, babe, I'm hungry. She makes a sandwich. And he's like, what is this shit? Well, you said you was hungry. Well, I ain't want no damn sandwich. What do you want? He just said he was hungry. You can't. Oh, she should have knew to make me steak dinner. And what is enough, Philip? You say they don't pay enough. I got 5 minutes for this one. Anytime a job tells you what your salary is beforehand and you accept it, that means you get paid enough. Because other than that, you could have did something else. You might think you deserve more, but once I tell you, hey, this is what the job is, you make $60,000 a year. Because, yeah, teachers don't make enough. Hey, Mo, can you do this for me? I need to take this phone call. I ain't going nowhere. I just need to mute my mic.
Sure thing. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. Let's look at Phillips' comments here. He said, crime was so low in the 1970s. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I need a small favor for you to tell
we
me
need
how
you
I
on the
get
show,
that.
Philip, so you can kind of
Me and the wife had an
honor
issue.
your point.
I
You
got
need
a
to mute
restraining
yourself,
order, and the
DVP.
restraining order
People
says
here in
that
your
she can
business,
stay.
man.
But the judge for some reason put on there she got to stay 100 feet, but she can stand up. She can stand.
Mute yourself, DVP. People here in your business, man.
What? Yeah. So
hear me.
I don't have it in front of me. So anyway, one of your guys come and he tells her she's got to leave. And I said, the order says she gets to stay here. He said, but you too close. I said, well, what if I leave?
I can't mute them, y'all. Y'all gonna have to just listen to the
no,
conversations.
You don't know about my situation, but we have a daughter who has medical needs.
Let me see if I can.
Machine here. She doesn't eat food, so all of her stuff is here. So I want to know: is there a way that because they told me to talk to a supervisor? He called
you are lying, brother.
Can I write something? All I really wanted was to make sure she didn't destroy my property when I left. But I'm going to California. I don't want her to leave. She's not from here, so she doesn't have a lot of resources. A hotel is just crazy stupid. But we would have to move all the medical stuff for her food, which I don't want to do. So I was calling you.
All right, I got to him, y'all. So let's see here. Philip, since you're in on the show, it's gonna be me and you, man. We're gonna do it. You remote, and I'm on the show, so we're gonna talk about it. I couldn't mute him, man. He had to do it himself. I hit him with the in the text. So we can't get around slave catching legacy of law enforcement and how it encourages these types of aggressive interactions with Black folks. Yeah, that's a fact, man. I kind of talk about that in my book, and it definitely is I'll say that it is embedded in the culture of policing. Slavery is embedded in the culture of policing, whether you want to believe it or not, but it is. And you do your own research on it. Don't argue with me about it, but do your own research on it, and you'll see. And those seeds of slavery have grown and into trees, and now it's just part of the system. And until something is done to change that, that's just the way it's going to be. I think it's going to take an act of voting. We got to vote because you get to vote for judges. You get to vote for people. You get to vote for your sheriff. You get to vote for those things. So, the only way we really going to be able to have an impact on that is by voting. So make sure you do your ballot. You know what I mean? You got to do it. If a lot of times most people just think you vote for just the president and you're done, but they got this big old ballot, man. I go through it every year. It's a pain in the butt, but I think about, I just want to do my duty. It's a duty as far as I'm concerned. So I just want to do my duty. I do that. And, that's the satisfaction I get out of that. But, yeah, it's, it's interesting that, I could never be a police officer. I can tell you that right now. I could never be a police officer. And that's from my own personal reasons, my thoughts, my ideas, the way I see things, and the goals I want to achieve in my life. So, based on that, it just doesn't fit for me. But one thing that does fit for me is I like to help people. And if I could help people, I don't know if I can help them within the policing organization. That's why I do my thing. I help them outside the policing organization because it's almost like, I would need them to rebrand totally. I'm talking right down to the uniform. I don't even like their uniforms anymore. I've seen some, it's interesting. It's just a funny thing. Like I saw I think it was Canada, the Canada uniforms, they're green, right? It's pretty cool. I think it was Canada. They were green. They got a dark green hat. And I'm like, it felt different for me because I associate policing with a particular brand. And I think that's just how one of the things that happens in life, you associate things with brands. And I think they need to rebrand, for uniform wise, they need to rebrand how they execute, they need to rebrand how they move and how they do the job. All of that needs to change. And don't know how that could occur except to vote. For us at the grassroots level, for people like me, only power I got is the power of the ballot. Malcolm X said it, bullet or ballot, so you got to go to the ballot, make your vote, and that's the best you can do, because there's no way I can kick. We got a sheriff here. I'm in Arizona. We got a sheriff out here that man, this cat was, before we even got to this point where they were trying to grab people who are suspected to be illegals and ship them back. This dude was going to the Hispanic communities, the Mexican communities, and he was snatching people up and putting them in jail and getting them checked out. Probably not real thoroughly, but he thought he was doing the right thing. But I think it was all in my opinion, it was all hand waving to make him seem like he was tough on illegal immigrants and stuff like that. But it's interesting because there's a complexity with that, because I also saw that most of the contractors building the homes, most of the contractors always had a complete staff of Mexican workers. Now, it's not for me to say whether they were documented or not. It's not for me to say, but I can guarantee you at least a portion of them were not documented, and nobody had nothing to say. Nobody had nothing to say, and they were making tons of money off of these people's backs. All right, probably paying them pennies on a dollar. Because you can always get cheap Mexican labor out here. I mean, there's a road, there's a strip. The contractors in the morning at about 6:30, they just ride down the strip, and the Mexican folks are out there, and the men are all out there, and some of the women are out there, and they just wave their hand, and then they stop with the truck, and they all get in the back, and they go to work. You know what I mean? So that that was something they were doing out here, and it was it's I don't know if it's illegal or not, but they were doing it. But I know one thing, that the contractors were getting the most benefit, even though the people were able to make money and live. The contractors were getting the most benefit, and I'm sure they were paying those people penny on the dollar.
But we got to understand what the benefit is. If you're used to making $15, $20 a day, and all of a sudden I'm paying you $100, which is still pennies on the dollar, but you're making 5 times what you normally would have made. So we're choosing a benefit that don't affect us. So when we do some of these suppositions, we don't know what they're doing. We have an outside knowledge that's based on belief. Because if you can't make money and all of a sudden I'm giving you enough money a day, do you think you're being cheated?
Right.
Do you feel like you're being taken advantage of? Of course not. So if it works for both parties, again, equity and equality, who does it have to work for the outside or for the participants? Now, when the people start saying, I ain't making enough money, now we got an issue. Hell, teachers behind they ain't making enough money for years, and what do? Nothing. Firemen don't make enough money, but they still come out. Cops, in theory, don't make enough money, but they still come out. So we can't keep suppositioning for other people until we put ourselves in that position. See, I was a cop. I can say, and for real, if we're using today's standards, we make more than enough money. In 22 years, I got shot at one time. The rest of them, most of the time, it wasn't that hard. Again, 99% of the cops ain't bad. 95% of the population ain't bad. Most of the cop-citizen interactions were easy peasy. Every now and then I got somebody with an attitude. I don't even count that. We're humans. Everybody can have an attitude. Does your attitude affect what's about to happen? Does it affect my job? Is your attitude so strong that you're going to jump out of the car and start pointing your finger at me and start telling me how bad cops are, to the point where now you're not that good person and I got to use force to get control of the situation? Most people don't do that. So most cops don't do that, which is why I say we pick the instances, but there are 50 states. Mo couldn't find 52 instances of neglect to the point where somebody died if I gave him a year to do it. That's one a week. One a week. That's one state a week. It's not happening like that, but we keep acting like it is, and it's not. So when we get fake mad about it, we're harming a system that ain't built for us, but it can harm us even more. And that's what we got to stop doing. Until we don't ever hear about these things in Chinatown. We don't ever hear about these things in Indian places. You know why? Because they protect each other. We don't do that. See, we can stop the police from coming in our neighborhoods because it didn't happen back in the day when we had the gangsters and the thugs who made sure things ran a certain way. But once we got to the point where we didn't want to snitch and we didn't want to hold each other accountable, our communities started running amok because we wanted to keep secrets, because we wanted to protect our friends, even though our friend was the predator. That was what we didn't want to acknowledge. And we can't keep blaming law enforcement for that. At some point, the mirror says, hey, you let this predator in. When I did the show about the women who had been molested by one of their relatives' friends, everybody quiet. So you knew this dude like little girls. He just happened like your sister. Oh, we'll make excuses for him. Oh, she was hiding the pants. She was this. At some point, when are we going to step up and start taking accountability, being accountable and responsible for what we allow to go on, what we close our eyes to, and this? The cops don't treat 99% of the public like they bad. Stop playing. See, Philip, come on now. Ask how many people been around the cops. Ask how many of them went to jail, Philip. I guarantee most people who have run into cops, even got a ticket, did not go to jail. You pushing Trump numbers now. 99% is nowhere close to what they treat. Most people ain't gonna tell you they had a scary interaction with cops, other than hyperbole. Oh, I was scared. I didn't know what he was gonna do. You knew what he was gonna do. He didn't walk up shooting. So why did you think he was gonna shoot? You did that to yourself. You did that to yourself. But where did the no snitching come from? No, the no snitching came from criminals in our neighborhood who threatened us. It didn't come from crooked cops, player. No. It came from the mafia who understood what snitching is. A snitch, by definition, is somebody who tells on somebody else to avoid time. We weren't snitching to if Mo sees something and he tell what happened, he wasn't ever in danger going to jail no way. So it's not even snitching. So people in our neighborhood convinced us to be quiet because they're using the same hyperbole used. Oh, if they lock me up, they might beat me up, they might do this. I don't need to go to jail. And I'm with it. But why not go rob another neighborhood? Why are you robbing your own neighborhood and then you want me to be quiet? That came from us. You have twice. How many times you been pulled over? And look at you, you're friends with a cop. So I ain't saying it don't happen. I ain't gonna never say that. But for the number of police citizen encounters, it's not even close. It's not even close. So it's 7:55. I'm gonna get my last what the hell is going on. But Philip, we're gonna do a show in 2 weeks when I get back about this. Mo, get ready. Philip, get all your stuff. What the hell is going on with Smokey Robinson? Mo?
What do you mean?
What the hell is going on with Smokey Robinson?
I only know little tidbits, man. You gotta elaborate.
They saying he's sexually harassing people now. Smokey like 940 years old.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did see that post. Yeah, I don't know, man.
What the hell is going on? My mama called me to ask me. I'm like, Mama, I don't even know Smokey Robinson.
Yeah.
Smokey.
We don't even know his real name, man. Is that his real name?
Yeah, I thought it was Smoking.
It might be.
Don't make me Google it right quick.
That just, I mean, I don't know, man. I'm the son of a cop too. Oh.
And I'm the son of a criminal. But I chose this because I saw I could make a difference. As opposed to complaining about it from the outside, I got inside where I can make a difference. But anyway, what's Smokey Robinson's real name? I mean, what's going on with Smokey Robinson?
I got no idea, man. If he listen, I don't follow diddlers, man. I don't know what's going on with the good brother.
Hey, man, you old enough to have done sung his songs.
Oh, I know his songs. Yeah, he got good songs.
Okay, so his real name is William Robinson Jr.
Oh, there you go. See,
I told you.
I know. I ain't no Smokey. Who the hell named the kid Smokey?
That's his nickname.
I know. Yeah, I know. Them young girls. It's a young girl thing, man. I don't know, man. I can't tell. Look at Shannon Sharp, Smokey Robinson.
That's a whole nother show.
I mean, I'm just saying that. It's. Hey, you gotta. I think it's a mentality thing. You got to get your mental right. That's one of the things that instead of you focusing on your body, but you got to focus on your mental too. It's work. You can't. It don't just happen. That's why some of the religions, they pray multiple times a day. That helps them. You know what I mean? So you got to find whatever works for you. You got to find that and do that.
Philip said, if you can get up at 85, you should get it for free. I'm not even finna touch that.
Oh my goodness, yeah. That's...
Mo, you got any parting words for us, brother?
Yeah, man. Hey,
shit.
So let's see. So I am, and I might recruit your help for this DVP. I think we kind of talked about this anyway, but I'm starting a program called a read along, and the idea of the program is that book that DVP held up, The Good, the Bad, and the Blue. That's one of the books I'm going to be using, and the idea is this: I'm starting a group, and what I want to do in this group is it's going to be an online. It's going to be an online group, and we're all going to come online just like this on WebEx, not WebEx, on Zoom, and we're going to read this book out loud and have discussions and thoughts and talk about it and do analysis and all kind of things. We're going to read the book online, and if I'm lucky enough to get DVP to join us, he can give us his analyses on.
Let me know, brother. I'm there.
Okay.
As long as I ain't in California, I'm there.
All right. So I can get DVP. He can give us his analyses on each case, and we can have our civilian view. That's what I call it for me. Like I said, I collected all the facts, and now I want to talk about them. So I'm putting this group together. If you want to be part of it, just send an email to read along. Let me put it in the chat here. Let me see. Can I put it in the chat here?
Yeah.
Let's see comments. There we go. Okay. Well, anyway, let me just let me tell you the name of it. Let me tell you the name of the email. You can just email me, and you can be part of the group. And it's called zoomreadalong@gmail.com. That's ZOOMREADALONG@gmail.com. So zoomreadalong@gmail.com. Trying to put this group together so we can, like I said, we can read the book as a group and have discussion. And I think it'd be interesting. It'd kind of be like a learning platform. And like I said, DVP already volunteered to come in as our police expert. So
he volunteered. He got secretly drafted, but he'll take volunteer along from you.
It was volunteer in quotes. DVP volunteered to help us out with the the police side of things, and I think it'll be a fruitful conversation, and we all learn something. So I'll leave it there, DVP.
All right, and I'm gonna give y'all this because I forgot to do it, so I'm in trouble. I'm gonna tell y'all about a melodic getaway. I don't have the thing because I was being slack. Epic Universe tickets are on sale. Universal's brand new park opens May 22nd, and June tickets and express passes are already sold out. Get your family together or call up your inner child and step through amazing portals to 5 immersive worlds of excitement. Hit up Melodic Getaways to plan your vacation. And that's just one she got. But she got a lot that are overseas. You need a passport. But check out the group. There's a lot of great things going on. Whether it's her group or not, go somewhere else and see what the real world look like. I appreciate y'all time. Hopefully Mo and Theo can keep this going next week while I'm away. I'm gonna see what I got to do to bribe them, so they can do something. But Philip, me and you in 2 weeks. Me and you and Mo in 2 weeks. We're gonna have a whole nother Law and Order show. All right. So y'all know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, peace, popcorn, and chicken grease, and we out.